Okay, everybody, welcome to this year's version of the safety meeting, the risk management meeting, the workers' comp meeting for Cornerstone Comp and for all of our other clients at Manuel Insurance Group and Hub International. We have three objectives today. The first is to teach you a little bit about workers' comp quickly, because we know you don't want to know that much about it. Second, what to do if you get hurt. Third, how do you avoid getting hurt? How do you completely eliminate the possibility of getting hurt? And fourth, and maybe the most important thing, we're really trying not to embarrass ourselves both personally and professionally. And that's hard. In the past, we've done a lot of that. Now with me today, I've got Jim Wood, who's our Director of Marketing, doesn't really know why he's here. Amy Radix, who handles all of our safety resources and helps with helping you have a safe workplace. And then Matt Havens, you all know, who handles all of our workers' comp claims. So a lot of you have asked, how do we do this video? Well, we completely ad-lib it. We have no idea what we're doing at the beginning. We'll be here for about 2.5 hours. And then Jim over here is gonna make all this work in about 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And then you'll be on your way. So right now you're probably sitting in an orientation and thinking about what you gotta do to get ready to get school started again. And so we're not gonna take up a lot of your time, but what we are going to give you today is a lot of pertinent information about how to be safe in the workplace. Okay, so over the years we've gone to great lengths to get everybody that watches these videos to remember what is in them. We've had people arrested. I've been in high heels. We've had people get hit in the head with balls. I fired a lot of people right on camera. Lots of people fired. Matter of fact, when I walk on campuses, they ask me if they're fired. But we're going to go to Sesame Street today. Because there are 5 things that are present with almost every single injury that happens. 5 things, physical and mental. And essentially this is what they are. Age, okay? We go through a lot of stages with age where when you're 21 to 25, you're indestructible. You'll do anything, and that creates risks. When you're 25 to 35, you still think you're 16. When you're 35 to 50, you don't understand that you're putting your body at risk. When you're 50 to 65, you start to get some wisdom, and we see injury rates going down. So age is a big factor. You got to know, you have to understand age and the way you relate to that. The second thing is being in a hurry. The third thing is being distracted. The fourth thing is trying to do too much by yourself, working alone. And the fifth thing really is being careless or just not caring about the issue of safety. And one thing we all have to understand is that workers' comp is like a payroll tax. But if we use it, if we have injuries, if we get hurt, that tax goes up. And if we don't use it, it goes down. We'll talk about that in just a second. So how many things?
Give me 5 now, 5 on the clock. 5 on the clock. 5 fingers on the hand. 5 fingers on the hand. We got 5 on the block. 5 on the block. And the 5 in the sand. 5 in the sand.
5 things. Age, being distracted, trying to do too much, being a little bit careless at times or not caring enough at times, okay? And the last thing is being in a hurry. So that's what I want you to remember today. Those 5 things are present prior to almost every single injury.
No jive. No jive. No jive. No jive. Yo 5. No jive.
Of course, looking at your phone while you're walking is absolutely essential to getting along with your day.
Oh, okay.
Has to happen. I mean, I have to see what the Onion's tweeting. I mean, you're seeing some slip and fall and some safe walking vignettes today because simply, if we just eliminated slips, trips, and falls, we could probably cut the cost of workers' comp for our clients by half. And there's just so many different ways that this is happening, and we're just trying to show you the most common ways. Being distracted is a huge problem. And the phone, I hate to say it, we're all tethered to it. We can make fun of our teenagers and make fun of young people, but the adults are just as bad. So don't distract yourself. Slips and falls are 99% preventable. You just have to take the right steps, no pun intended, actually pun intended, to not slip and fall. Walking backwards is generally a plague on our society.
Live every week like a shark week.
Basically, in the workers' comp world anyway. And the reason for that is we get a lot of people falling backwards. When you fall, a couple things are gonna happen. One, you're gonna try to brace your fall, and that puts your entire, from your fingertips all the way to your shoulder in play. If you're not able to brace your fall, you're gonna land on a hip, you're gonna land on a tailbone, and we're looking at some serious problems here. So we don't want people to walk backwards. And I know teachers think they have to do it and love to do it, but look at the way a duck walks with the baby ducks behind them. The baby ducks will follow you, okay? You just gotta tell them to follow you.
I don't think I can do it without holding on in these shoes.
So Amy, so this is the thing. Amy can't even get down one step in these high heels.
What is going on? What are you doing?
And we got people going up and down stairs in high heels all the time carrying stuff. And so this is a great illustration of what the problem is with inappropriate footwear for what you're trying to do. Now, this is a huge problem, okay? Typically we talk about high heels, but these flip-flops, I mean, when you look at slips, trips, and falls, this is what you're really seeing day in and day out. Jim could either he's texting or checking his Instagram right now, but either way, he's probably fired. We ask people all the time, what were you doing right before you fell? And they're distracted. They're walking with their phone out. You can see this is the exact right way to go up and down stairs. A lot of people don't do that. Special attention today to slips, trips, and falls. The #1 cause of injuries. Most can be avoided by slowing down and correcting tripping hazards. That's all.
I have very little patience for stupidity.
Well, you got a point there.
All right, if you've ever seen the Allstate commercials featuring mayhem, this is it. Why are we sitting in a dark room doing anything? Well, because from time to time, some of you walk into dark rooms and try to navigate your way across the room, and inevitably something like this happens. Well, this is we call this kind of an unforced error. I don't want to let you in on anything too secret, but when we see injuries come through, we'll do a little bit of eye rolling on these. Why? There's a light switch right next to the door. And guess what? Did you know you're all carrying a flashlight? Right here, flashlight. Every single phone has a flashlight. So folks, let's not commit unforced errors. Use light when you walk into a room. Okay, so these are 10, I think they're pretty non-negotiable activities staff should never be involved in, and this is gonna bum a lot of you out there that are watching today, but here's kind of how it goes. I get a phone call. Hey Ken, yeah, hey, good. How you doing? Okay, all right. So what's up? Hey Mike, I'm getting some really crazy requests about doing things on activities and at the staff level, and I want to run some things by you. Okay, well, do you want me to say no?
I like saying no. It lowers their enthusiasm.
Will you please say no to all this?
I say no.
Okay, I'll say no to it, no problem. Make me the bad guy. But what are the 10 things, really? Well, first of all, there's a lot of fun trips out there, and I know we like to have a lot of fun with the students. Snowboarding and skiing at the staff level, not a good idea. Now, if you want to do it, that's fine, but budget for it because someone's going to get hurt. Snowboarding and skiing. Number 9, ice and roller skating. Ice and roller skating. Nothing good ever happens to staff members on any kind of a skating rink, ever. Number 8, trampolines and bounce houses. For whatever reason, our folks like to get out there and mix it up with the kids. Trampolines and bounce houses, not a great idea. Number 7, climbing walls. I'm talking at camps and other places, not a good idea. Number 6, a lot of people like to go surfing, especially in California on the coast, coastal schools. I don't care if the kids surf, staff surfing.
Okay, that is messed up.
Running. A lot of folks get in a hurry. They feel like they got to run. A lot of people get hurt running. Number 4, dunk tanks. Great time at carnivals, but if you're in a dunk tank and you're on the staff, a lot of injuries in dunk tanks. Number 3, staff and student contests and games. Basketball, volleyball, all kinds of stuff like that. If the staff's going to participate, I see problems on the horizon. Number 2, playground equipment. It is for kids. I shouldn't even be up here. Can it even fit through here?
Yeah, you're good.
Took 3 people to get me up here, it'll take 4 people to get me down. And number 1, don't get on the roof, okay? Pretty rare to see people up on the roofs, but I've driven into parking lots before and seen people up on the roof retrieving a ball or doing something like that, and I always wonder, why is that person up there? Those are 10 sort of simple suggestions to not get yourself all mangled up during the school year.
Right.
We spend a little time on proper lifting because lower back injuries are so common. Just taking a few minutes to get help or simply using the correct lifting technique can avoid the possibility of missing weeks of work as you heal.
Stop it. Get some help.
So we're on the campus of Valley Christian Schools in San Jose, Warrior Field. They got beautiful facilities here, a great athletic program, but what comes with that are a lot of coaches. And what comes with a lot of coaches are a lot of people doing things maybe they shouldn't be doing. So I want to ask Gabe here. Gabe, what's the number 1 piece of advice you have for a coach in the process of coaching their sport?
I think you can demonstrate the sports. I think it's showing people what to do and what not to do, but not at full speed. When we have coaches doing full speed demonstration of a particular move with the particular sport they're at, that's when we get into trouble.
Okay, how about you, Reggie? What do you think?
Well, the only thing I can think of is that in your head, you're 18, but physically you're not 18 anymore. So just remember that.
Exactly. Matt, what kind of claims are we seeing out there injury-wise with coaches?
We've had torn ACLs, we've seen ruptured Achilles tendons, we've seen torn rotator cuffs. So we're seeing some major stuff.
Yeah. And so what happens is you've got people that are just doing their job. Maybe you're a volleyball coach and you're going up to demonstrate a kill and you tear your Achilles. We've had coaches throwing batting practice, tear their labrums or hurt their shoulders. We've had line coaches doing football drills with kids. Clearly they're completely outmanned in the process of doing that. So the rule of thumb here is demonstrate, but not at full speed. Know your physical limitations, And understand that as a coach, you are one of the biggest hazards on campus in terms of a potential injury. I want to talk about heat illness and heat illness prevention plans. This is a CalOSHA requirement, as all of you are aware, but I wanted to discuss this once again because there's really three elements, really four. Heat, water, and shade. There's the fourth element would be training, making sure that employees are trained on a regular basis to drink water, seek shade when they feel ill, and you can rest there. Really, when you're talking about water, one way to know if you're drinking enough water is to look at your urine when you go to the bathroom. If your urine is this color, then you're in trouble. Stop what you're doing, go get water.
Now go get me a juice box. You know who you're talking to.
The screen you're looking at is how well are you hydrated, and you can see that 1, 2, 3 you're well hydrated. 4, you're getting into a problem area. 6, 7, 8 is a time that you should stop what you're doing and drink water immediately. This is a good guide to use when you go to the bathroom to see where you're at in terms of being hydrated or being dehydrated. And heat illness, we're concerned with heat exhaustion and heat stroke. If somebody is suffering from heat stroke, that's an immediate emergency, has to be taken care of right now. Put ice packs under their arms or in their groin area to make sure that, that you can cool that person as soon as possible. Okay, so we've touched on a few topics today, but there is a lot more every organization should be doing to have a complete safety program. We try to help you with that by running what we call DMIG University throughout the year. And for those of you that are not in our local area, you can always join those educational webcasts online. They're all good, they're all topical, we've got great presenters. But some of the issues you should be addressing besides what we've talked about today are active shooter training. You should be talking about earthquake safety, of course, CPR and first aid. If you have ergonomics needs where people are getting some issues working at their workstations, we can do train the trainer sessions on those. Our goal is to try to teach you how to train your own people how to be safe at their own workspace. And then other issues of interest would be, how to drive a forklift, how to safely drive a golf cart. There are lots of needs, and we can marry you up with those resources. Just need to contact Amy Radix at our office to do all that, and we'll make sure you get what you need to have a good safety focus throughout the year.
After an injury or accident, the first thing you need to do is report it either to your direct supervisor or the HR administrator at your site. If you're not sure who either of those people are and you're watching this in an orientation video, perhaps this is a great time to pause the video and ask. If not, please, at the conclusion of this video, please ask and find out who to report a claim to. Once the claim is reported by you, you will be directed to a medical facility for care. That facility will be in the medical provider network and very familiar with workers' compensation and the reporting requirements. Once you've reported your claim to your HR department or your direct supervisor, a claim will be filed with your workers' comp administrator so that your eligibility for workers' compensation benefits can be determined and benefits can be provided to you expediently. Now, through this process, one thing that is incumbent upon you is to please communicate. If you have any questions, your claims administrator can address any benefit questions that you may have when you're going to receive a benefit, what benefit you will receive. If you are having some frustrations, and unfortunately you will possibly come across things that will be frustrating in the process, please communicate those to your employer, and I am a resource that your employer can use to help fix the problems and smooth out the bumps in the road. In addition to communicating along the process, it is also important that you attend your medical treatments whether it be physical therapy or an evaluation with your treating physician. That helps the communication between the medical provider and the claims administrator. If there are treatment modalities being requested, those can be addressed more quickly and will make the process run a lot smoother. Now, our goal, once somebody has been injured, and I can't overstate this, is to get a complete, quick recovery. We want to provide access to great medical care so that you can return to work as quickly as possible, whether that be your usual and customary job or some form of light duty. Keeping you engaged in your ministry will help in the healing process.
Okay, so by now you're chock full of information about safety and claims and risk management and all that stuff. So here's your resources. For workers' comp claims, Matt Havens. For safety, risk management, safety training, and help with all those materials, Amy Radix. For questions about your workers' compensation program, Jim Wood. And you can always contact me for all three. So that is your resource if you're a manager, if you're a school leader, if you're a church leader. And if you're an employee, how many things do you have to remember? How many things? These are the 5 physical or other conditions that usually are present if you get hurt. Number 1, being distracted. Number 2, being in a hurry. Number 3, trying too hard. Number 4, being careless. And number 5, not really understanding your age and the limitations that come with that. Those are the 5 things that are usually present before anybody gets hurt. If you just want to look at our safety videos on demand, you can access our YouTube channel and just do a search for DMIG on the YouTube channel. And that should get you where you need to be during the school year. A couple of thank yous are in order today. Always thanks to Fresno Christian Schools for hosting us. Valley Christian Schools also been very generous with their facilities and their time. Really appreciate that. Again, Matt Havens, Amy Radix, Jim Wood, and myself. This is your team, and we only have one goal. Make sure nobody gets hurt, make sure we're doing things the right way, and make sure that we have a safe workplace. So have a great year, everybody.